Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, guys. Honestly, this is such a pleasure and an honor to be joined by you individually and collectively yet again for lesson number 15. I think this is just another landmark of our stopping on our collective journey of exploring the theme of the game of life, taking you where you need to be physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, and financially to live your life to the fullest. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us again. Very quick recap of lesson 14. Lesson 14 was about love, gratitude, appreciation. There were those three modalities of the maxed out happiness index when our medium is oscillating around 8 out of 10, when we're really getting closer to the greatest expression of our game of life. Because no matter what happens, whether they are events which seemingly beyond our control or no, JP, this is not my belief system, I really cannot control it. Fair enough, fair enough. I concede. Remember, I'm not here to challenge your notions, guys. I'm here to give you guys the frame of reference. You will take whatever you please. So if there's something you choose to believe, just joking, if there's something which is beyond your control, if you have the very high happiness index, you have much greater probability of overcoming that challenge. Like we've said before in the previous lessons, it's the faculty of knowledge, skill set, people, your adaptability, ability to gain a new skill set, new belief systems, new values, attract new opportunities into your reality. And lastly, it's about humility, that there is someone out there who has overcome that challenge already. We just need to find that icon, we just need to find that role model, and then copy and paste that segment of his algorithm of the game of life and apply it within our specific circumstances. There is a way out, there's just a way. We just need to find it. And if you are in a highest state of vibrational frequency, if you are in a state of joy, exhilaration, exuberance, highest excitement, you have the greatest probability of finding that solution fastest, or connecting yourself with the people who already have had that solution waiting lined up. Remember, you don't need to know how, just ask who else is coming. Very important, very, very, very important. We were talking about those three modalities, love being the maximum expression of the happiness index, which some people refer to as unconditional love, aka infinite love, aka universal love. You love yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. You love your past, your present, your future, and you love as many people as you can, or better yet, the totality of planet Earth, or better yet, the totality of creation slash existence slash holographic matrix, aka the multiverse. Or you love God and everything being the expression of God, however you wish to frame it. Or you love nature, however you wish to frame it, whatever is consistent with your boss's base operating system scripts. So that was the unconditional love. Very great tool. And remember, it's a choice, it's not a circumstance. Love is not something that happens to you. You first choose love, and then you attract love into your reality. And that works for the enlightened entrepreneurship, that works for your projects, for your services, for your branding, for your products, for your content, and it works in personal life, in romantic relationship. You must love yourself. Remember the art of the pitch of a pitch. Never try to sell something you wouldn't buy yourself. If you wouldn't buy yourself, why are you trying to sell it? Come on now, that's a little bit I don't want to say hypocritical, because that's fear-based consciousness. We don't go there on this channel. So choose love, guys. Love is not a circumstance, it's a choice, like everything else in the game of life, in the game of bosses, BS's, values, and the art of framing. Secondly, it's the art of gratitude. The gratitude is the sending of energy of being grateful to your fellow human beings, being grateful to the other content co-creators that have already assembled the pieces. You will just be reconfiguring the pieces, and that's voila, your new products, your new services, your new content, and then you'll be reselling it to the market. So be grateful to the people, be grateful to nature, be grateful to the planet, be grateful to creation, be grateful to God, be grateful to whomever you wish to be. Just be grateful. Should you wish to indulge me, please, that's maximizing your chances of you living your game of life to the fullest. Once again, it's a choice, it's not a circumstance. Lastly, appreciation. Have your goals, have your dreams, have your team. Take your team there. Go there together. Alone, you can do nothing, but always be appreciative for what you've got. You've got this channel, you've got this amazing community, you have your spiritual family, you have your beautiful body, you have two hands, you have, well, if you don't, please don't take it, you don't take, um, I do beg your pardon. This is, we do not mean to come across as insensitive. This channel is super inclusive, but statistically on average most of the people will be blessed with two hands and two arms, and there's so many things that you could be grateful for. So appreciate it, be thankful and appreciative, value those things. This is appreciation, that I value my body no matter what it is, how does it look like. I value my mind no matter what's my mental state. I value my spirit slash my super consciousness slash my genius mentality. I value my social relationships even though they could be better. I value my financial situation even though that could be better. Those verticals will be growing only as much as you grow as a consciousness slash person slash personality profile, whatever it is that you wish to define yourself as. So these are the three choices: love, gratitude, and appreciation. If you choose to embrace them, if you choose to reframe everything through the prism of those three, you have the greatest probability of maxing out your happiness index. And then if something happens that is truly, I'm not saying it's not, I'm not teasing you gently, I'm saying that there will come a time that you might surprise yourself and you might decide that actually nothing is beyond my control. But I'm just, this is your game of life. You go as fast or as slow, you go as far or as close as you please. I'm just giving you the greatest possible spectrum of possibilities. You will take whatever you please. As long as you are living your life to the fullest, I'm down with it. I'm super happy for you. All the best to you. God bless you. But if you still believe that there are things which are beyond your control, and these are the reasons for you to go down, collapse your happiness index. If your happiness index was very high up in the first place, there's a very large probability it will be easier for you to go back where you belong, to that state of ideally 8 out of 10. That's the medium that you want to aim for. And we'll be talking in the next lesson about targets and about plans and goals. Finally, I know I promised you guys, I know I'm testing your patience so much, but speaking of testing your patience, this is very pertinent to the lesson number 15, the lesson number, the focus on your focus. That is super important lesson, because there is that powerful meme out there which is very disempowering. It is a negative framing, and yet so many people ascribe to that particular way of looking at reality, and that is mainly that, hey, money is not everything, but everything without money is shit. Now, we don't use such disempowering terminology because, once again, we are the inclusive channel. We are following community guidelines and we want to stay within the framework of positivity. However, having said that, I would gently reframe that meme to the following: that everything matters, but without focus, everything is blurry. So imagine focus just like you have with the sharpshooting or sniping. Now, sharpshooting, what does business, developing business or anything within the game of life or content co-creation have without sharpshooting? The answer is everything. The sharpshooting is a symbol of focus. Now, if you look at those character arcs of those amazing human beings, and there were those amazing human beings that took their focus to the whole new level. Focus is what predetermines the difference between those who achieve their goals and achieve their plans and those who actually do not. Because first, yes, there's one thing about learning those techniques like we have been doing, like learning the technique of maintaining, having your bosses, having your BSs, having your values, learning to reframe, learning to connect with the right people, with the right knowledge, with the right skill set, being humble and adaptable. Yes, 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 yes. But what does it actually mean? That means that if something is misaligned, if something is out of tune, if we're not heading where we should be heading, that means that we are getting outside, we are getting misaligned. And what does misalignment means? That means focus. When you are aligned as a person, that means that physically, mentally, and superconsciously slash spiritually, you are in line. You are one. You are acting as a unit, and that's the function of focus. So everything in life without focus, you will not get there, because it's exactly as if you are short-sighted and you have the wrong prescription for your glasses. It will be, you'll be disadvantaged. And this is what happens with the people who are getting to their goals, reaching their goals and dreams, and not getting to their goals and dreams within the time frame that they have established for themselves. That's the difference. The difference is, are you capable of maintaining focus, or are you getting distracted? So first I'm going to give you some stories, because this is what content co-creation is. There's no such thing as sales or pitching or marketing or branding or campaigning or having a social impact on the planet. All of them are different reiteration of the very same thing: storytelling, narrative. We are all enlightened entrepreneurs, or at least entrepreneurs. We are all storytellers. We are all content co-creators. This is what content is about. It's about telling stories. So I'll tell you a few stories. One story was about the gentleman called, who is widely regarded, particularly in the Eastern world, as the greatest swordsman on the planet Earth. That was the gentleman called Miyamoto Musashi. And Miyamoto Musashi was doing what the passionate lovers of the fantasy themes, those mathematical models, like, for example, not being too prejudiced, because there's so many variables, but usually they are derivatives of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. It's called, in that particular system, it's called ambidexterity. It's that you have such mastery of the right and left hemisphere, because you remember from the biology lesson that the left hand side of your brain controls your right hand, and vice versa. Actually, it controls the entirety side of your body. But when you are ambidextrous, it means that you have such mastery of balance, of focus for both sides of your body. You are aligned, that you can actually fight with two swords at the same time. Now, fighting with one sword is a mastery, and it's not for me to say. There are much greater authorities to say that. You'll find them on YouTube, you'll find them on social media, many kendo masters, any form of martial arts. That's, by the way of developing focus, but we'll discuss that in a moment. Mastering single weapon, or mastering your body as a weapon, it's a great and amazing skill. And if you are into martial arts, if you are into, I highly encourage you to do that. This is the way of reframing your focus. Go for it. This is a tool. Remember, it's a foundational basis. That's we were talking about three modalities of consciousness in the third lesson: physically, mentally, and spiritually. You're building your physical focus, your mental focus, and your superconscious slash spiritual focus. All of them have to be aligned. All of them have to act as a cohesive unit. And that's the function of focus. Fighting with one weapon is a mastery, but fighting with two weapons is unheard of. Hence why he's widely regarded, at least within the framework of Japanese culture, as one of the greatest, if not the greatest swordsman that has ever lived on the planet Earth. And just a story, if you would be standing before him, there is a name of it. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to butcher the Japanese, but he would be essentially capable of such a movement that he would take out his sword, he would slice the apple at the top of your head, and then he would put back his sword in literally 2 seconds, if not less than that. This is the level of mastery, and this is the level of focus, and this is why it's so important, because God forbid if he would actually lose his focus, then probably you could be suffering from what in historical record used to be called a decapitation. Very terrible form of death. So I don't recommend anyone, please, if there are any children, please do not do it at home. This channel and its affiliates will not take any personal, criminal, or civil liabilities of what you guys are doing in your own time. Please, this is just a training material. This is just a frame of reference. So that was super important. Another form of focus, the Swiss story of the William Tell, where you have had a gentleman with a crossbow shooting an apple. What is it with those apples? apple of the hat of the loved ones. We're not going to even go to the Robin Hood story and the more modern stories, when you have the stories like immortalized by the amazing picture with incredible American actor Bradley Cooper, the American Sniper. Now guys, on a very personal note, I'm a super pacifist. I'm unconditional love, peace, prosperity, abundance, love, gratitude and appreciation for the entirety of creation. I do not support any form of conflict. I do not glorify war any way, shape or form, but I love great narratives. I love great storytelling. I love great content, and hence why that's what enlightened entrepreneurs do. We learn from everyone. And the American Sniper is definitely a story worth telling because it's based on the truth. Same thing with another amazing legend. Guys, there's a reason why snipers, once again, it's about focus. Snipers are some of the most feared players in the game of life, the war edition, which I do not, I'm highly against war. However, it is from mass psychological point of view, it's just all those different dynamics of human experience fascinate me because once again, it's amazing storytelling. There was a gentleman during the Winter War, which was during the Soviet invasion of Finland. Once again, I'm not going to tell you his name because I would butcher it, and I have way too much respect to our Finnish brothers and sisters who will come here. He's the national hero. The man was such a menace that they were dedicating the entire artillery squadrons in order to take him out. So they were using artillery, which is normally for the it is intended for battling tanks like happens in Ukraine unfortunately in this moment in time, and assaulting cities, and yet those batteries, those artilleries, like Napoleon has said that God always stands on the side of better tacticians and bigger cannons. Cannons usually, well, until we develop rockets, cannons were the predetermining factor who's going to win the war. They were dedicating the entire cannon batteries because he was such a menace. He was sitting there in a freezing temperature. He was putting snow into his mouth just so he will not, so they couldn't pinpoint him by seeing any steam or any moisture or anything that would give out his position. And he was waiting patiently for the officers, and he was so efficient that the entire Soviet army in Finland was quaking in the boots just at the thought of him. He was a white menace, and he was an incredible superhero. But this is, all those stories are illustrating to you the power of focus, that you can have the most beautiful dreams, you can have incredible knowledge, you can have incredible techniques of reframing, but if you do not have focus, just like in that original meme that, hey, there's nothing without money matters, nothing without focus matters. So please, please, please take it very seriously, because unfortunately at this moment in time, okay, we are super supportive to all content co-creators. However, especially those content co-creators who are into the streaming services, which we're not saying they are good, we're not saying they are bad. Remember, it's just a belief system. We don't apply value system to belief systems. We apply infinite value to human beings as enlightened entrepreneurs. So whatever you want to choose, it is your game of life. However, many of our brothers and sisters from the streaming services, they themselves have gotten addicted to what is called in the industry the doom scrolling, the very short content, the 30 to 60-second clips. Now what that does, unfortunately, and of course, look, it's just, hey, if that's your niche, if that's what you want to do with your, God bless you, and I'm going to support you 100%. It's just that in the future, when we'll be doing collaborations and when you guys will be approaching me whether I want to get personally involved in something, this is something I send you love, I send you gratitude, I send you appreciation, but this is misaligned with my life mission. My life mission is to build something greater with you guys, with all of you. And unfortunately, the people who are exhibiting the physical signs of stress because the video is longer than 60 seconds, guys, I hate to break it down, please don't shoot the messenger, although probably wouldn't hit me because you are slightly off focus. Just joking. No, but guys, seriously, take it very seriously. Your focus is just so misaligned. You and I'm ever so sorry, and we're not going to go into the conspiracy theories whether these Chinese secret services have released a certain certain social network in order to collapse the attention span of Americans. Guys, this is not this channel. I mean, come on. We are loving and appreciative server. We love the Chinese. We love Americans. We don't get involved in that cloak and dagger stuff. We are appreciative of all belief systems, including conspiratorial belief systems. I'm not saying they're true. I'm not saying they're not. We just want the best for everyone. And unfortunately, if you are doom scrolling on your mobile, that is a form of compulsive disorder. That is the way that you have unfortunately collapsed your focus, because focus, like everything in life, as you know by now, it is a talent. You start from some level, but it is also a skill set that you grow as you practice. Every skill set you grow as you practice. Practice makes perfect. Whether it was Miyamoto Musashi, or whether it was an American sniper, or whatever is your weapon of choice, your weapon of choice is focus. Focus, 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 focus. Now, we're going to be talking very quickly about which strategy you can incorporate to regain your focus, because that's the good news. Remember, it's silver lining, it's yin yang, it's not good, it's not bad, it's your framing that makes it good or bad. What glass? There is no half empty, half full glass. There's only intent, there's only love, there's only gratitude, there's only appreciation. However, just as you collapse your focus, you can regain it, but you have to practice it. Now, there are many ways of practicing focus. The metaphysicists and religionists are using yoga, which is the passive way of increasing your focus. There's an active way of increasing your focus, which is martial arts. So if that's what you are into, if you are into yoga or martial arts don't have to technically have any religious connotations. Yoga, some people will say it does have religious connotations. I leave it to your discretion. However, one thing, because yoga and martial arts is just a passive and active way of focusing, passive and active way of not developing your body. Your body is a foundational basis. Your body is the way of framing your subconsciousness. Then you frame your consciousness / align your consciousness, and then you align with your superconsciousness. Yoga and martial arts, these are spiritual / superconsciousness exercises. This is how you align back. This is how you develop your focus. This is how you can do work for 3, 4, 5, 6. Guys, when you'll be working for yourself, when there is no boss, you will have to be super disciplined, and discipline is just another misnomer or reframing of focus. You have to push yourself. You have to keep yourself on schedule. You have to go back on a daily basis to that workflow. There's so many distractions. There's so many things demanding your attention, especially if you are having family life and little children. I appreciate that. These are challenges that you will have to be overcoming on a daily basis until you can go to the next level, and perhaps you can remove yourself slightly from that environment, and you can safeguard your attitude and safeguard your focus. But focus is incredibly important. That's why I implore you, please take it very seriously to, on daily basis, develop your focus. And there's one life hack which I cannot recommend enough, and because that's without any religious connotations, despite of some people choose to believe, and that is singularity of body, mind, and superconsciousness, which on planet Earth is popularly referred to as meditation. Now, the quick disclaimer to our brothers and sisters on the humanist spectrum, guys, you would be surprised how many billionaires on this planet, they are waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. and the very first thing they do, they meditate. Now, this is a matter of scientific record. This is not a belief system. This is not the script. This is not me framing it in order to sell it to you guys. This is just a fact of life. It's a way of oxygenating your brain. So it's great for you. It's great for your body. It's great for your mind. It's great for your superconsciousness. It's great for your creativity. Many of the greatest ideas, whether it comes to content or products or overcoming challenges, will come when you are in that heightened state, the alpha state, as some people call it, the deep state of relaxation that comes from the natural state of focus as you go into meditative state, as you shut off the planet Earth and all the distractions and all the noises. Now, If you're a humanist, that's how you're going to frame it. It's just a breathing exercise, it's just a way of oxygenating your brain. If you are a religionist, if you are coming from those religious traditions which do not do meditation, my answer to you is they do. It's just that it's the active chatter meditation, which is prayer, and it is rosary, and it is chanting. The three forms of meditation, which is with employment of vocabulary, of speech, because once again you are focusing your mind, your subconscious and conscious self. So you are using meditation, it's just that perhaps you weren't framing it as such, but maybe now you'd like to reframe it, because the metaphysicists will have the easiest. Like I said many times, metaphysicists are the ones who are the most flexible in their adaptability for new belief systems. They are downloading the new belief systems as they go, really. But the religious people, guys, please do not disempower yourself. You have to answer in your heart whether you can do something or not. I don't want you to do something that violates your religious or deeply held spiritual belief system, but I'm telling you that the passive form of meditation that we're going to be talking about now is one of the fastest and the purest form of redeveloping your focus. Yes, you can do yoga, yes, you can do martial arts, yes, you can do shooting. There's, if you are a sharpshooter, once again, that's focus. There's so many exercises. Yes, some people go to the gym, yes, you can do jogging, you can do whatever you please, but the purest form of developing your focus is passive meditation, is when you are having your favorite position, or asana as some spiritual traditions are calling it. Essentially what it is, it's a funky way of singularity of physicality, singularity of posture. You do not move, you are still. Same thing happens with your brain slash with your mind, with your consciousness. It's still, it doesn't move. That's why it's passive. We're going to be talking about active one when we talk about manifestation, but for the time being, for the exercise of regaining your focus, you want passive, which means that you want to go mind blank. You have the internal chatter, like what this guy is talking about. That's that. You chat to yourself and you program your subconsciousness. That chatter has to be suppressed. It will come back and then you learn to suppress it. Remember when we were learning to regain your attitude? That's it. You reframe it, aka you focus on positive instead of negative. You focus on love-based consciousness instead of fear-based consciousness, and you go back. The same thing will happen here. The monkey brain, the chattering ape brain will keep coming back, and you will silence it without judgment, without bias, without prejudice, without losing control, without getting to negativity spectrum. Because like regaining attitude, like framing, like everything else in life, it's a skill set. You develop a skill set. You have to have mind blank, no thoughts, no images, no emotions, and no sounds. You have to have it clear. And that's when you start to focus. That's physically and mentally, so you are in a state of stillness. However, you can choose the postures, the popular asanas, but any posture that makes you feel comfortable. You can even lie down, but then many people fall asleep, so you will have to recalibrate what's best for you. But essentially, if you can dedicate at least 5 minutes every day to the passive, once you get better, you get, hey, there's some people, I'm not going to tell you how long I meditate per day on a daily basis, because it's just different frame of reference. If you are just a beginner to the meditation, to the art of focus, I don't want you to feel discouraged. 5 minutes every day. The keyword, like with all workflows, is consistency. If you can give me 5 minutes of your focus every day, I would be eternally grateful to you. So focus physically, focus mentally, and focus on a singular point. That point can be within your body, or you can focus on the so-called seventh chakram, which is the point just above your head. So focus on a singular point for as long as you can, and every time you lose your focus, you recalibrate. Just like when you have with the sniper, where he goes out of alignment, he goes back up. Recalibrate yourself, because it's very important what I say, that everything matters, but without focus everything is blurry. The art of reframing, the art of downloading the belief systems, aligning with the right people. If you do not have focus, if you do not have sufficient ability to put yourself and your team back on track, once you lose your attitude, once you go in outside of alignment, when something happens which throws you off balance, none of it will matter. And once again, be gentle, be kind, be patient with yourself. You are doing fine. You are doing amazing. If you're doing 5 minutes per day, it's better than what you haven't been doing. Instead of doom scrolling, instead of destroying your attention span, your focus, now you are rebuilding it. So you're doing fine. Give yourself a massive round of applause. Guys, there's still so many of you with the externalized validation, but you still perceive yourself from somebody else's experiences or somebody else's point of view, somebody else's framing, somebody else's script. No, it's your game of life. You're doing perfect. If you are here exactly the way you are, physically, mentally, spiritually, you are perfect. But now you're getting a little bit perfect plus. So please, 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 please consider it, doing it for yourself, for my humble self, for your spiritual family downstairs in the comment section, for your audience, your community, your family, your planet, the creation at large. Focus, focus, focus. Every day, 5 minutes. If you want to do more, it's up to you. You will be increasing it as you get better. But the important thing is that not to lose your attitude, not to get discouraged, not to get disheartened, because at first, if you are just a beginner, it's going to be super hard for you because everything demands your attention. The world wants you back. They want you back. It's like with one of those memes that we have created for you for the 12th lesson, that you have those zombies after your heart. They want your heart back, and they want your time back, and they want your attention span. No, they can't have it. Your attention span, 5 minutes per day, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to be in peace, in serenity. For the first time, many of you will start feeling peaceful. When was the last time when you were peaceful, when you weren't rushing, when everything was perfect just the way it was? No guilt, no blame, just peace. Before you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, hey, if you get to 9, well, God bless you. You have to go through that modality of peace, of serenity, of bliss. That's how you know you're heading in the right direction. That's how you know that, hey, I'm getting there. I'm getting to be more focused. And each and every time I misalign myself physically, mentally, spiritually, or misalign myself from my team, or misalign myself from my community, or from my audience, or from humanity at large, you get more and more in sync as you learn to focus. Remember, when we talk about alignment, we talk about focus. That's what we're talking about. So I cannot stress it enough. This is your game of life. Don't do anything that is against your belief systems or makes you think uneasy in any way, shape, or form. Your happiness index is sacred for me. It's sacred for our wonderful community. But it doesn't matter if you're a humanist, religionist, or metaphysicist slash spiritualist. You can meditate. It's just an exercise of your mind and your body and your soul slash super consciousness, if you believe in one. It's just a way of recalibrating yourself. You are the perfect instrument, but sometimes you get out of tune. Focus is the best way to go back. Mwah, mwah, mwah.